Hey Phoenix, welcome back to Elon. Although we wish the circumstances were different, it's always great to welcome back student athletes to the start of another academic year. For those of you that don't know, my name is Jeffrey Scheibel, and I'm the Assistant AD for Compliance and Technology.
And I'm Laura Pearson, Compliance Assistant. You've probably received a couple emails from me already. Today we're going to cover specific ways in how you can protect your student athlete eligibility. Throughout the year, you'll be receiving rules education via email and through ARMS from me about specific hot topics that are going on within the NCAA. But today we're just going to cover some quick compliance tips.
The Office of Athletics Compliance is located in Alumni Fieldhouse. Led by Clay Hassard, Senior Associate AD, with over 35 years of experience with the Phoenix. He is also the sports supervisor for women's soccer, softball, and men's and women's golf. The Assistant AD is Jeffrey Scheibel, who's in his 11th year with Elon Athletics, and Laura Pearson is the Compliance Assistant, starting her 2nd year with Elon Athletics. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Elon Compliance.
There are a lot of different ways for you as a student athlete to protect your amateur status. A couple of things to think about is to avoid pay for play, for example, accepting payment for athletic skills. Please do not sign with a professional sports agent until you are done with collegiate athletics. This also goes for declaring for a professional draft. You are allowed to participate in outside competition, but make sure that you register for approval via ARMS before doing so and talk to your coaches. You may accept up to actual and necessary expenses, for example, meals, lodging, equipment for specific things in outside competition. In some cases, prize money up to actual and necessary expenses are allowed, but make sure you also double check with us in compliance before doing so.
When it comes to drug testing, there is both institutional drug testing and NCAA drug testing. I'm going to talk about NCAA drug testing, which is done year-round. The NCAA conducts tests for 2 types of drugs. One classification is performance-enhancing drugs. These include steroids, peptide hormones, and masking agents. The other type of drugs is known as recreational drugs. These include your stimulants, marijuana, narcotics, ADHD meds without a prescription. You need to know that when you test positive, you face immediate loss of eligibility. For PEDs, you lose 1 year of eligibility and you will be unable to participate in NCAA athletics for a period of 365 days from the positive test. For stimulants and recreational drugs, you immediately lose 50% of your season. On a second positive test, for PEDs, you are permanently ineligible at the NCAA level. Stimulants and recreational drugs, you lose 1 year of eligibility and again 365 days from the date of the positive test. Other penalties for NCAA drug tests include tampering with a drug test and failure to show for an NCAA drug test. If you're found tampering with any sample, it's an immediate 2-year ban from competition, 730 days that you'll be unable to compete at the NCAA level. If you fail to show for an NCAA drug test, it's treated as a positive PED test, which is a 1-year loss of eligibility and 365-day ban from collegiate athletics. It's important to know that penalties will follow you if you transfer, or if you go to a school outside of the NCAA, such as a junior college, penalties will go on hold and then be reinstated upon your return. I can't stress enough how important it is to check with your athletic trainer before taking any type of vitamins or supplements. There are many products that have banned substances that do not show on a label but will trigger a positive drug test. One example, and you may be wondering why Muscle Milk is in the upper corner, is Muscle Milk. There's a specific collegiate version that you'll notice on the label. Without it, there's a growth hormone, an insulin growth hormone, that may test positive for an NCAA drug test. Even though you can buy it over the counter or online or any number of places, it will still test positive on an NCAA drug test. Be sure to inform your trainer of any prescription medication you are taking before a test, and preferably at the beginning of the academic year.
As you can tell, sports gambling is a booming industry across the nation. Sports gambling applies to both amateur and professional sports. For example, online gambling, paid fantasy leagues, putting up money to win money is considered gambling. If you are caught in sports gambling, this would mean permanent loss of eligibility. The information is valuable. So as a student athlete, you may be targeted often via social media or maybe other individuals in the community or elsewhere for information that may assist a gambler to place a bet. So do not share any team information. Some examples include injury reports, suspensions, disciplinary issues, etc. You are allowed to enter any free contests such as the ESPN March Madness and free fantasy sports.
Among the many hot topic issues in collegiate athletics, name, image, and likeness is quite possibly at the forefront. However, no rules have changed, at least not just yet. We're expecting legislation, possibly in Congress, to be passed as early as January of 2021. But at the earliest, we're looking at an effective date of fall 2021. What that means? It means name, image, and likeness, while popular in the media, will not change until at least next academic year. As a reminder, the current rules are the NCAA prohibits student athletes from promoting commercial services or products or using their name, image, and likeness regardless of whether compensation is received. At Elon, our biggest issues are social media influencers and student-run and local businesses. It's become very popular for college students to earn money as a social media influencer. Unfortunately, this is one area where a student athlete cannot capitalize, where a non-student athlete can. Student-run and local businesses are also a concern. Many local businesses will reach out to our student athletes about appearing on their social media feeds. However, note that you cannot endorse those businesses. That would include posing in front of a business sign or talking about their products and services in an attempt to garner more business. Also, many students will reach out to their classmates. You may be a roommate of somebody who has their own business. You cannot help promote them. As awkward as it may be to say no to your friend, the NCAA prohibits student athletes from promoting any type of commercial entity.
As a Division I student athlete, you have 5 years to play 4 seasons. The clock begins upon your initial full-time enrollment. If you would like to access a 5th year, you can do so by automatically redshirting, which means no competition at all, or up to 4 games in football, or by a medical hardship, which would mean a season-ending injury with limited competition. Medical hardship criteria includes competition limited to no more than 30% of contests, no competition in the second half of the season, and a season-ending injury must be documented with a letter from physician and medical notes. Please contact Jeffrey or me if you are interested in pursuing a hardship to gain a year of eligibility back.
Boosters are critical to the success of an athletics department. Not only do they fund the money that allows us to pay for athletic scholarships, but they fill the stands and cheer on our Phoenix in all of our sports. However, boosters do present some challenges with regard to NCAA rules. Specifically, it comes with impermissible benefits. Impermissible benefits include anything that you're getting as a student athlete that a member of the general student body or general public would not receive. This can include extra benefits, recruiting inducements, and preferential treatment. This also extends to not only just student athletes, but their friends and family as well. Some examples include receiving cash or cost-free goods and services, getting special discounts or credit options, for example, deferring a loan payment until after graduation. Preferential treatment and benefits might include things like waived fees, deferred payments, or preferential treatment or benefits may include things like waived fees for an apartment application or deferred payments. Additionally, things like payment for work not performed. There are also transactional extra benefits. For example, a student athlete being paid for work that was never performed, or being paid at unreasonable levels. Or if you're selling something, maybe listing it online, and somebody decides to pay 5-6 times what the actual value is because they know you're a student athlete. Other examples include transportation or borrowing a vehicle, or tickets to events, such as concerts and athletic events. So what is permissible for boosters? Frankly, you come down to two areas. One is an occasional meal. In doing so, an occasional meal must be provided on campus or at the booster's home, provided it's within 30 miles of campus. A booster may provide for transportation to bring you to their home and back to campus, but no other locations. They may also invite you, a group of a few student athletes, or the entire team. As long as it's not held at an off-campus restaurant, you are okay going to on-campus restaurants in downtown Elon. Different rules apply for Elon coaches, faculty, and staff. We are allowed to provide student athletes with a meal off-campus within 30 miles or at our homes. Anytime there is an occasional meal, it must be pre-approved through the Office of Athletics Compliance. This can be done through the student athlete or through the booster. Employment is another area where boosters can support our student athletes. As long as the work is actually performed and the student athlete is receiving the same compensation and treatment that any other employee in that position would receive, it is permissible employment. All student athlete employment, booster affiliated or not, must be pre-approved via the employment registration form located in ARMS. If you're unsure about an employment opportunity, please ask compliance before beginning the employment.
For all ticketed sports, you can request your complimentary tickets via ARMS. You may allocate tickets to friends and family members. No boosters, agents, tutors, or peer mentors may receive complimentary tickets. Do not sell or trade these tickets because it will render you immediately ineligible. You may transfer tickets to teammates as necessary. If you have any questions about the transfer to your teammates or any questions about the complimentary ticket process, please contact the Director of Ticket Operations, Thomas Phelps, at tphelps2@elon.edu. Over the course of your time here at Elon, you'll be issued gear and apparel. Just the same as tickets, these items you receive from Elon may not be sold or traded for goods and services.
If you're viewing this presentation, you've already figured out how to access ARMS. On the left, you'll see an example of what is called a care log approval. Your coaches will enter your practice times and other athletic activities, and you'll be randomly selected each month to approve them. If at any time you have concerns about what is entered by your coaches or think that there is an error, please let us know. We cannot help remedy the situation if we are not made aware of it. In the middle, you'll see a screenshot of the ARMS app. On the ARMS app is a calendar. It will include your athletic activities, and we will be integrating your course schedules and other areas such as tutoring appointments, academic advising, and possibly rehab and strength and conditioning down the road. It is imperative that you download the app. At times, and in emergency situations, we will use ARMS and the communication service to reach out to all student athletes with important information.
We hope you all enjoyed our presentation. If you took away one thing, we hope that it is you ask before you act. Compliance is a resource. We are here for you, but we can't help you if you do not ask. If you have any questions, please contact Jeffrey or me via phone, email, or visit us online at www.elonphoenix.com/compliance, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at ElonCompliance. Good luck this year, and go Phoenix.